Hello, Antonia.
Hi.
My name is Anissa Garcia. I'm an LPC here in Texas. And I just wanted to discuss the confidentiality that you signed in the front.
Okay.
So I just wanted to remind you that anything that happens in session stays in session, unless you present to be a harm to yourself or to others, then I'm going to have to share that information for your safety and the safety of others. Do you have any questions before we begin?
Okay. I don't have any questions right now, but if I do have a question, should I ask you during session or should I email you?
You can definitely ask during session, and if for some reason you decide to go home and you remember something, then you can definitely email me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this confidentiality is something we can discuss as along as we go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So what brings you in today?
Well, I am a little bit, I suppose, anxious because I'm going to visit my boyfriend's parents for the holidays and his whole family. They're actually not from here. They live in North Carolina, so it's a bit of a trip, and I've been there once before to visit them, but usually they just come here to visit, and it's just for a couple of days, so it's not really that intense, I guess we could say. And just in general, the relationship between them and myself is not like really where I want it to be. They're really, really nice, and like I really do like them, but sometimes when they come to visit, I feel like they are really like they overstep their boundaries. Like I guess maybe if I tell you a story that would help. So for instance, they came to help us move like a couple of weeks ago, and well, when I thought that they were coming, I thought they were going to help us with things like packing boxes and like loading up the truck and whatnot, maybe like cleaning up the apartment or something. I don't know, typical stuff. And so when they first got there, it just started right off the bat. I had a presentation due that night, so I had asked if they would not meet us until after my class. They showed up at my apartment when my boyfriend was working at like 3 p.m. and I was preparing for my presentation still, and they just, really made themselves at home. They ordered a pizza like to our apartment, and anyways, I didn't want to be rude and say like, no, hey guys, you really need to go somewhere else because I really need to prepare. And then the following days when they were here for that same trip, they, instead of like, we were all cleaning up and we were packing up the boxes and stuff, and my boyfriend's mom decided to start cooking pretty much all of the food that we had in our fridge. And so she was like asking me while I was in the other room packing boxes. She would call to me and say like, oh, where's the salt? I can't find this or that. I can't find the spoon. And they were packed away. I mean, we were moving like that next day. So long story short, I didn't feel like they were really helping. And then of course I didn't want to be confrontational or rude and say anything. Just a lot of it comes from, I think, they are from a foreign background. They're both immigrants to this country, and they both are very sort of set in their ways and their culture. And so again, I don't want to be rude. I think that the way that they portray themselves is being polite in that culture. Like that's their way of helping, but it just didn't come across that way, I suppose. So yeah, so I'm supposed to go visit them soon, and I just really don't want it to be like an uncomfortable situation. So
yeah, it can be difficult communicating with boyfriend's parents, in-laws, and things like that. While you were telling me that story, how were you feeling? What was the feeling that you were having? In the story.
While I was telling it to you, I guess my emotions are sort of a little bit frustrated, but also kind of guilty, because you know how I said, again, I do think that they're trying to be nice. I don't think they'd ever do anything to be rude, but here I am perceiving it as rude, so it makes me feel a little bit guilty, and like I said, a little frustrated as well, just because there is that kind of barrier of communication, which is pretty frustrating.
Okay, and also when you were describing your feelings of frustration and guilt, I noticed that you were moving your leg a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. So did you ever notice that?
No, I didn't notice.
Okay, so I know those feelings of frustration and those feelings of guilt are difficult to process sometimes. So I want to take a moment to just stay in that feeling so we can try and close our eyes and take a deep breath and just stay in that feeling of frustration, guilt that you're feeling. Okay, while you're in that moment, can you tell me where you're feeling that frustration and that guilt? Can you pinpoint where it is exactly?
I feel like the guilt is sort of in like the back of my head, maybe like my neck. And the frustration, I mean, sort of feels just like all over, just like a little bit of a tense feeling, like maybe my hands, if I had to choose.
Yeah. Okay. And if your back of the neck could speak at this moment, what would it say?
Not really sure. I guess I would say like, get this off of me. So sort of feels like a weight maybe that's laying on it. So like maybe it would say, you know, ouch, can you get this off of me? I don't want to feel this way. I don't like this. Something like that maybe.
And what do you have to say to that?
Let me think. Maybe just say like, I know, I'm trying to get it off because I don't want to feel this way either, you know? It's not just you, Nick. I think that's what I would say.
Yeah. And as far as your hands, what would your hands say?
They would say like maybe, well they're sort of like trying to just like hold it in, like they feel like they're frustrated, but they would say like, we need this to stop, like we need this to be over. I think that's what they would say.
Yeah, so you said like tense, like tight. So what if we just try and loosen your hands? Since they're so tight, let's try a little exercise. Would that be okay? Instead of having them clenched super tight, let's just shake them out. Yeah, let's just shake them out. See how that feels. Okay, so how do your hands feel? You know?
They feel lighter.
They feel lighter.
Yeah, that's like the perfect word I could use to describe it.
Okay, that's okay. So now what are they saying?
They're saying that I guess I have to talk in their voice, right? So, we feel better. We didn't like to feel tense. We would rather feel free.
So how would we help that feeling more in your neck and to ease those feelings of frustration and for guilt? How can we?
I think a lot of it maybe by learning how to properly communicate with them. Like I said, I just think I like kind of hold it in now, and my poor boyfriend gets to hear about it, but I would not say anything to them because I of course want to be like really respectful, and like I've mentioned, I don't think that they would ever do anything intentional like that. So I think to ease the guilt, if I were able to just like tell them how I feel in like the proper way, maybe that would help. But to be honest with you, I have no idea how to do that, and I honestly, I don't know. I think I would be nervous to even try, you know. I don't want to ruin the relationship between them and myself, or between me and my boyfriend, because of course those are his parents, and I mean, yeah, you don't want to ruin that relationship.
And have you actively done anything in the present to help with that communication? Is there anything you're currently doing in the now?
Oh, okay. I don't think so, no. I mean, I do always speak to them sort of, like I said, when they're here, like as kind as possible, and I do try to help them with whatever they need or whenever we go out to eat, like chip and things like that. But those are more just like to be polite, I suppose, and that's not really in the here and now, so I don't think so. Short answer.
So I wanted to try an exercise to practice rehearsing you speaking with your boyfriend's parents. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we're just going to pretend like they're sitting right in front of you and they had just, gone through your fridge and, you're feeling those feelings of guilt and frustration, and I want you to vocalize those feelings and speak to them.
Okay. I don't know where to begin.
That's fine. We can take a cleansing breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, and you can start when you feel ready.
Okay. I really, really, really appreciate that you guys are here and what you're doing for us. And I just want to say that I will take care of cooking the dinner for tonight. I want you guys to just sit back and just relax. If you would like to help, I think packing up the living room is something that we would be really appreciative for your help with. So, thank you. Was that good?
Yeah.
It feels kind of awkward.
Yeah, it can be awkward in the beginning. We can try one more time so you can practice that.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to stand up, you can stand up. If you prefer to sit down, you can sit down.
I'll just sit down.
Okay.
I really want to thank you guys for coming to help us, coming all the way down here just to help us move. And I really appreciate the help that you're giving us as far as cooking and trying to prepare dinner for us. But we actually have plans to go out to dinner tonight, so if you wouldn't mind just helping us with the living room instead, we would really, really appreciate that.
Awesome. That was an excellent job. Okay, and how do you feel after doing that little exercise?
I still feel a little bit like kind of awkward or uncomfortable, but a little better.
Would you like to do it again?
No.
Or do you think you know what you want to say?
Sort of.
Okay. So another thing that I noticed while you were speaking with your boyfriend's parents during the exercise is that your voice was very low. So I want to try another exercise to help with that. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, for this one, we're going to stand up. And we are going to pretend like your boyfriend's parents are standing a little bit further away. So we're going to project your voice a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to thank you guys for coming all the way down here to help us with this move and help us pack. I would really appreciate it if you guys left the cooking just to us. We were actually planning on going out to dinner tonight anyways, so we would really, really appreciate your help with putting some of the living room stuff in boxes and maybe helping us organize a bit.
Awesome. Okay. So then we're going to try one more time, and we're going to pretend like your boyfriend's parents are all the way at that wall, and you're going to project your voice.
Like really loudly?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try. Okay. thank you guys for coming all the way down here to help us with our packing. We really, really appreciate it. However, we are planning to go to dinner tonight, so please relax. Don't worry about the cooking. If you want to help, we would really appreciate getting some of the living room stuff into boxes instead. Is that okay?
Awesome. We can take a seat.
Okay.
And how did that feel, projecting your voice?
It felt very empowering, I suppose. A little bit more confident, even though I would never obviously speak that loud in a regular situation. It made me a little more confident, because when you're speaking that loud, you kind of have to know what you want to say, at least in my opinion. So I think it did help with that.
Yeah, and especially just talking to me, I can tell that you're speaking a lot louder too.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't notice. That's funny.
So where are you feeling that confidence? Where is that?
I guess I'm here. I don't know what is this, my chest, my throat, sort of. It may just be because I was kind of projecting, but that's where I identify it with. But I would say that probably, yeah.
And how do you feel now going to Thanksgiving with your boyfriend's parents?
Well, I feel like I'm a lot more confident about the situation. I think in general I feel a little bit more at ease, because before there was kind of a lot of anxiety that was surrounding the situation, just because I don't really like the unknown, and I don't really like feeling like I'm unprepared. So I think that now, after this exercise, I'm feeling more ready, just more generally positive about going.
And do you see yourself using this exercise in the future?
Yeah, I could see myself doing it. The only thing is I probably need to go in a room where there wasn't anyone there. I feel still a little bit uncomfortable with the idea, but I think there's no doubt that it made me feel more confident and ready. So I feel like maybe it could be applied to other situations as well.
Well, I'm glad that you're feeling a lot more confident about going to see your boyfriend's parents, and I would like for you to carry that confidence into the next encounter that you have with them. And like you stated before, you can try this exercise alone if you need to, or with somebody just before you see your boyfriend's parents, just so that you have that feeling of confidence, and that when you want to talk to them, that you have that empowerment within yourself to express that to your boyfriend's parents.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense. I think that would be a good tool to use. And I think too, I don't know if this is sort of out of topic, but I think too you can use it for other stuff, right? Like an interview or something like that.
You most definitely can use it for an interview, to practice what you want to say. You can use it in all kinds of situations that you feel that you need to use it. So we're about to wrap up. We are at the end of our session. Do you have any questions? Do you have any?
No, I don't think I do. Not really.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad that you were able to gain a sense of empowerment and in a sense of confidence, and I hope that you're able to carry that to other situations in your life, and I hope that you feel more at ease when you go and speak to your boyfriend's parents.
Thanks, me too. I think I feel better now, so thank you so much.
Okay.